You must have had someone who believed in you so much, who raised you, that when you were a little girl, you said, I want to be the first female astronaut.
That's right.
I mean,
yeah.
That was not common thinking when you were a child.
But that was my mother.
Right.
That was my mother. And my mother, said to me all the time, it's not whether you get knocked down in life, it's whether you get back up. And my dad, I have to give my father credit, who
where is your dad in all this?
Well, he was hardly, what we would call a feminist by any stretch of the imagination, but he had a strong conviction that people should rise or fall on their own merits and their hard work. He was a very old-fashioned,
he was Republican,
self-reliant conservative, but had a very strong belief that individuals should be judged on their merits. On their merits.
I'm down with that. I gotta say, I like that. I was thinking about your husband. And do you have like rules about like not talking shop all the time? You know what I mean? You're like, okay, we've had 12 hours of this now.
Yeah,
like,
enough,
let's talk about something else.
We try to.
We
really do. We
Okay.
really try to. But we're both so interested in the same things, and it's not all shop in terms of what's happening in the election. It's more like we're constantly talking about the country and the world and what we can do to try to make a contribution. But we also have fun. We like to watch TV together. We like to go to movies together. We like to go on long walks together.
You historically are one of the very few women in a predominantly male arena. And I was watching the debates the other night. I was thinking, oh my God, I would never want to get in an argument with this woman, for a start. Number two, I was thinking, how do you process all the emotion coming at you?
It's a really, really smart question. And here's my dilemma. Maybe you can give me some advice here. Okay. It's really important not to wall yourself off from how you are actually feeling, but you're also, as a woman in a high public position or seeking the presidency, as I am, you have to be aware of how people will judge you
for being emotional.
For being, quote, emotional. And so it's a really delicate balancing act to be yourself, to express yourself, to let your feelings show, but not in a way that triggers all of the negative stereotypes.
Right. I hope you process it somewhere at home, because
I do a lot.
Yeah.
And with close friends.
Yes.
I say often, when you are criticized, take criticism seriously, but not personally.
I could sit and talk to you for so long.
This is so much fun.
I know. Okay, so these are a few questions that I ask everyone that comes on my show. Okay. What is the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
By far, my mother's advice, she gave me lots of it, but one I remember is, you have to decide whether you're going to be the lead in your own life or an extra in somebody else's.
How do you define success?
A sense of purpose and meaning in your life that gives you gratitude and joy.
I relate to that. What is your idea of freedom?
Being able to be who I am and being able to do what I believe in.
What would you tell your 14-year-old self?
Do the best you can. Don't be so worried about how you are perceived or how you look or how well you do. Just do the best you can and make the most out of every single day.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I loved it.
Does everyone take a selfie with you?
Yeah, it's okay. I like it.
You may be wondering what I'm doing hosting this show, and quite frankly, I'm wondering the same thing. Well, I'm a good friend of Chelsea's, and she called me last night to ask me to cover for her. Actually, I think she drunk dialed me. And I said, are you out of your mind? Leave me alone. And I hung up. And then she sexted me with the news that she needed to go to Paris to get laid. And you know what I said? I said, all right, girl, get yourself waxed, get on a plane, and I'll cover for you. So here I am. I am very, very excited. This is a very big deal for me. I'm not a comedian, but I do have some experience on TV. Some of you may know that I hosted a show called The Conversation. See, no one really knows it. It was a very very, very different type of show from this because I interviewed women in my living room and I asked them some very deeply personal and serious questions. And just so you understand the kind of heartfelt issues that I discuss with my subjects, here's a sample.
What is your favorite sex position?
I do enjoy a good sound missionarying.
I like being on my knees too.
While I am quite flexible and I can kneel, it's not quite as comfortable for me as it used to be before I had a fake knee.
I like to be
Manhandled.
Either lying down or sitting up on a couch.
I love doggy style when we're standing up.
Standing up's better, but laying down, it just hurts.
What about sideways?
That hurts too.
I'm down with all of them.
Now you know why Chelsea and I get along so well. All right, Taylor Swift and Harry Styles were seen together at the zoo.
Yeah, and somebody else is seen going, oh, look, it's Taylor Swift, and who the hell is that?
You know what? So it says here they were seen together at Central Park Zoo over the weekend. The two were photographed walking through the park arm in arm, prompting new romance rumors. Fans have already nicknamed the pair Hayla. You know what? I say good for her. She's 22 years old. She's an awesome role model for girls. She writes her own songs. I love that she's having sex with cute boys in bands.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say I hope safe sex, but I encourage it.
Yeah.
I sort of woke up one day and was like, you're an asshole. You're not an artist.
Outgo.
You're not an artist. If you were a real artist, you'd be focused on your music. You wouldn't be spending your money on the White Devil.
Yeah,
you know?
it is the White Devil.
It's just the most ridiculous, and there's this perception and romanticism around drugs.
That it's sexy.
That it's sexy, or that it's artistic, or that you're troubled and you're going to make great music, when really you're just a loser.
Yeah, wasting time.
Wasting time. I stopped and I focused 150% of my energy on my happiness, on what do you want to do? What is it that you really want? How do you explain to your friends and your mother and everyone, I'm a singer.
You have to do it.
I want to be a singer.
You do it.
Well, what do you mean you want to be a singer? Do you sing in the shower? You know, there's no way to convince people of your greatness. You have to know on the inside, whether it's you want to do advertising, or you want to be in finance, or you want to be a waitress or a bartender, whatever it is that you want to be, you have to know it inside and knife fight your way to your dream.
Thrilled to hear this, because when The Feminine Mistake came out, I spent 2 years on the road talking about women's the problems with women's economic dependency when they give up their ability to earn a living and depend on a man or a partner. And it was so shocking, traveling all over the country and to some extent all over the world, seeing how unhappy so many older women are because they have done everything that society tells women to do. They've followed the script. They've been good girls all along the way. They've devoted themselves to their husbands and their families and to they've raised their children. And all of a sudden they're left, you know, at 50 or whenever, and their lives are empty because the thing that nobody emphasizes enough to you is that kids grow up, and for one reason or another, marriages end. And I began to realize that a lot of women had conceptualized marriage and family as the central part of their lives. They don't realize that for most women, it's a phase that they move through.
Well, let me ask you, how was your book received by women?
I got an enormous amount of response from women saying, oh my God, you saved my life. It's like because I wrote about the benefits of work for women. Working women are in every way healthier, happier, and have better mental and physical health than full-time homemakers. And we hear so much in the media about the stress of the juggling act, but in fact, you end up with happier women, and all of the research shows that children do just as well with working mothers.
I made my husband read your book.
Yeah, the working
I was
mothers
like, you
said,
need to read this.
God, everybody's making us feel guilty all the time, and it's like, you showed why it's important for a woman to be able to support her family, but also it's better for the whole family. But the full-time homemakers, the stay-at-home moms, a lot of them were very angry.
Why do you think that the information you were presenting is is not readily available in the media, because women are certainly not encouraged to make the choice of working and having children.
The media at any given time has what the professors call a preferred narrative. They have a script. First it was, oh, isn't it great women are moving into the workforce and becoming doctors and lawyers. And then it was, women, let's just opt out. We can opt out for 15 years and retreat to our homes and have a beautiful Martha Stewart lifestyle, and then we'll go back in. But they didn't tell women that you can't get back in.
Hey, so hey, I gotta say, this is your first time with a man.
It is my first time with a man. Aren't you honored?
Yes. I'm honored, yes, I am.
Yeah, and you know what? I put out a Twitter question saying if I had to interview a man on television for the first time, who would it be?
And the Pope answered real quick.
Really?
Adrian Brody.
Adrian Brody. And we said, get him in.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I have known Adrian probably somewhere between 15 and 20 years now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, old school.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I love how our paths cross at the most bizarre moments.
Yes.
And I was thinking about interviewing you today, and I was remembering my 30th birthday party when you showed up in a full leather tracksuit. Do you remember that?
It's funny because they mentioned that you might bring that up.
I said I did remember it because I wanted to talk about it.
In the recesses of my mind. Yeah, I remember that. I also wore that to Cannes, and I was slayed by the press by it. But I thought it was cool. It's actually like a vintage Armani suit, very vintage. And I actually
look how stylish this man is, though. I mean,
you gotta have a sense of humor, right? You gotta have a sense of humor, and you gotta be playful. And so I'm sometimes playful, and other people think I'm very serious. And so I met Armani actually in Cannes, and I was like, hey, you made this. And he was like stone-faced at me. He was like, why did you bring that out? It was like very old suit, but his style has obviously evolved.
Oh my God.
And then the press also compared me to, like they said, Adrian Brody looks like he stole a drug dealer's couch from the 90s.
I'm sorry I let you leave my birthday party wearing it.
Yeah.